Hey y'all, this is Marley K. Hope everybody is well. Got something that I want to share with you about CBDCs. It's a CBDC update, and we need to keep up with what is going on because as we get closer to this full transition and the uh, economic collapse of the global economy, we need to see how everybody is already strategically setting up for this multipolar world and this multipolar economy with China and Russia leading the way. So as we go on, you're going to, begin to see how BRICS nations and BRICS itself, they are setting up this new global economy, and basically the West is excluded from it. And so when the West is excluded, we are a part of the West. And so even though we don't consider ourselves, uh, Gentiles, or we're not Gentiles, we are in Gentile nations, those of us who are scattered. And so we are collateral damage, and we need to know what is going on because it's going to impact us. All of us work. If you're still here, unfortunately, we still have to work. We still got to pay bills. We got to buy groceries. We rely on the beast system to feed us and provide creature comforts, and shelter, cars, car loans, just everything. We rely on them for everything. And so you're getting ready to see the price of food go up. Everything is going to change. And the majority of people are not going to be ready because they're not paying attention to all these different things that are happening all over the world. So I try to keep my finger on the pulse of what's going on everywhere, and I try to pick the things that are really prevalent for us to know so that we can be productive, develop our own personal countermeasures to try to counter um, what's happening. So this story is on Ledger Insights. It's a blockchain for business magazine, online magazine. So it says in-bridge cross-border CBDC participants, China and Thailand signed local currency agreement. So the People's Bank of China recently announced that its governor Pan Gongxing signed a memorandum of understanding with Governor Shetabu Suthiwanalubu, excuse me for butchering that, of the Bank of Thailand. This agreement established a cooperation framework for bilateral local currency transactions, and the two countries also discussed enhancing their financial cooperation. So not only is this important for us here in America, but it's also important for other nations around the world because I'm sure most of the people in these countries don't know what's going on. So it says central bank digital currency was not explicitly mentioned in the announcement. The M-Bridge project, a cross-border CBDC initiative. And when they talk about cross-border, all they're talking about is, what I've been telling you. There are no borders anymore. So when they talk about cross-border, they're just talking about ways to do transactions without all these different systems or these different institutions that basically control how currency flows around the globe. So when they talk about cross-border payment, they're just basically talking about the no buy, no sell system. So let's just say that's what it is to simplify everything because that's what they're setting up these systems where it doesn't matter where you go, you don't have to change. You won't need forex to change currency because everybody's money is going to be digital. You'll all have to use your phones or whatever digital method they tell us we have to use if you're going to be in the system. And so that's what they're setting up. And they're basically talking about this framework. So anytime you talk about framework, it is the infrastructure of the B system, the no buy, no sell system. So I just try to simplify that. Um, in biblical terms so we can understand where we are in the big scheme of things when it comes to the end time prophecy and this mark of the beast and this no buy, no sell that goes along with this mark, because the only way you're going to be able to buy and sell is if you do what the beast says, and that's basically worship. Um, when he says, it says, worship, um, do what they say do, move when they say move, live where they say live, eat what they say eat, listen to what they say listen to, or you be excluded and you can't buy or sell in their system. So, and you will endure persecution. So this is what we have to look forward to, and we already know. So hopefully you all are being, you know, continuing to prepare. So it says this Enbridge project, a cross-border CBDC initiative, was originally launched by the Bank of Thailand and the Hong Kong Monetary Authority to make faster, cheaper international payments. So notice they're talking about international payments. Central banks of China and UAE subsequently joined the project, which now has over 25 observers, including central banks from the world, the World Bank and IMF. So that's all you need to know. They're there observing because they want to make sure everything's going right, because the World Bank and the IMF are going to control everything. And y'all know who set up these institutions: the Khazarians and the Gentile nations, the white Anglo-Saxon Gentile nations. So it says last year, the HKMA discussed launching a minimum viable product MVP for Enbridge in the first half of this year, considering it a preliminary step towards commercialization. However, the Bank of International Settlements, BIS, there's the international piece again, Innovation Hub, which coordinates the project, so they are overseeing the project, has been more cautious about setting a timeline. In January, the BIS Innovation Hub leadership indicated that many unresolved issues remain, making it premature to confirm a timeline, never mind a post MVP minimum viable product stage. And this is the case because we're talking about it. We are waking up. People are paying attention. People are rejecting this stuff. And even in these other countries, people are refusing to use this currency. So it's not going the way that they hoped it would. And they're not right now able to convince people to do it on their own. So this is why I'm fearful. I'm not fearful, but I'm just aware that when you don't do it voluntarily, they do something to force you to do it anyway. And so this is where we are heading towards uh, the bad part, where either you're going to get war, an EMP strike, internet goes down, no communications, no water, no food, supply system breakdown, or you're going to get a pandemic and you get a lockdown, or you're going to get a climate emergency, because you see how they've been doing with these frequencies and these pulses and this next rad and harp and CERN and whatever else they got outer space that's doing stuff and making the earth hotter so that they can declare a climate emergency and do whatever it is they're going to do. So something big is coming. I don't know what it is, but something big is going to come because their plans are not working. And so they understand, they always understand, and don't forget this, they always understand that there's they have these phases of critical mass. They see that they're at their limit where people are going to voluntarily participate. The idiots that are voluntarily participating, or just, I hate to call everybody an idiot, but the people who are asleep, who are walking into this system thinking that they're doing something and it's convenient and it makes life better, those people are using this stuff. And then there are the rest of us who are like, I ain't doing nothing. So they have to do something drastic to get, or just people are just like, I don't want to do it. Not that they won't do it in the future, they just don't want to do it right now. So they're going to do things, really bad things, really drastic things, to get people to accept these currencies, like threaten employers that they have to use this stuff. Employers won't have a choice because they have to pay you through banks. Nobody pays people in cash. You don't go to your job and get your cash paycheck in the envelope anymore. So um, that in turn is going to make a lot of people go along with it because they're going to need their money to pay their bills. So they get public benefits and they're going to want their public benefits because they have to feed their children. They got to pay their rent. They got to do whatever they got to do. They need medicine. So things are probably going to get bad soon. And just because they're not willing to put a timeline on this yet, to me suggests that things are not going the way that they anticipated. It's taking a little longer, but they need a crisis in order to bring the solution, the chaos in order to bring the order, and that's what's coming. So when you see this, just understand it just means more is coming. It's just not here yet. So for China, Enbridge serves multiple strategic objectives. The country aims to increase the use of the renminbi in trade payments, aligning it more closely with China's share of global trade. Additionally, in light of sanctions against Russia involving SWIFT, China recognizes the importance of diversifying its cross-border payment systems. And so when they talk about SWIFT, they talk about how America in European Union basically call themselves punishing Putin in Russia and fixing it where they can't really do business. And then BRICS came, well, it was already a thing, but they really put things in motion where they saw we don't have time to play anymore. In order for us to be on top, protect our people, protect our interests, we got to do this now. And so they created this backdoor for Russia and for themselves, and in turn Russia ended up coming out on top, smelling like roses. And we are going to be the ones left holding the bag because nothing that they've done worked. And everything is working as it is designed because that's the goal. The goal is to, screw us over. So we're just basically watching a movie. We're in the movie and we don't have any control over anything. We're just pawns on a chessboard. So it says, as a founding member of BRICS, which also supports local currency payments, the group has discussed initiatives similar to Enbridge, such as a proposed BRICS bridge. Notably, China plays a key role in the technological development of Enbridge, and China is, if you don't realize it, they are the future. So China is going to be leading the new global order when it comes to like the face. Although the Khazars and Rome and the Gentile nations will still rule, they'll just still rule. They'll rule differently. It's going to have a different name, a little different face, some different rules, but the same game is being played, and same people are going to be ruling everything, and we're just going to be screwed. So it says, despite its technological capabilities, Enbridge remains a tool. It requires policy agreements to facilitate local currency payments. Last year, we believe the UAE, another participant in Enbridge, received its first local digital currency payment from China, receiving the pilot digital RMB, which is ECNY, I don't know what that means. However, a few months later, it used Enbridge to send dirhams to China. So people, these nations are finding ways to do business without America and without American dollars, which means we're going to be stuck with more American dollars and everything for us is going to go up. So just again, make sure that you are preparing. If you have additional resources or an excess of resources, you should put those resources into some tangible things that you can use to survive during the bad time, and to plan how you're going to survive once this beast infrastructure goes live and we're forced into it and forced to worship, because that's at the end of the day what it's all about. So that said, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification so that you'll be notified each and every time I upload new content. Follow me on Odyssey, Rumble, Instagram, and on Facebook. The links are in the description. In the event that I am booted from YouTube, which I anticipate if the internet doesn't go down, eventually they're going to get sick of me, and the copyright, fair use stuff not going to work soon. So if I'm booted, look for me on these other platforms. Um, if you'd like to support the channel, the links are in the description for my Venmo and my coffee links. I do not have any sponsors, and I do not monetize this channel so that I can bring you this information freely without any conflicts of interest and without any distractions, because I just find it very distracting when we have to be watching a whole bunch of videos because somebody's monetized. I just ain't doing that. I don't have time, and I don't want to. I work. So if you like to support the channel, support it. Lastly, continue to prep. Please continue to prep, because I think the bad is coming. This summer storm season is going to be really bad. They're already setting the conditions for it. If you haven't paid attention to Into Thin Air and Dutch Sense's page on YouTube, those are two truth tellers and watchmen who are really getting their behinds handed to them, because they're pointing out the deceptions and how people are just being manipulated, and they're expediting judgment, or they're expediting this new world order. And those things that they're doing will impact us. This bad weather is going to impact us. It's going to make a lot of people homeless, because these tornadoes are getting stronger and they're going to destroy more homes. Insurance companies are canceling people, so you won't be able to rebuild. The hurricane season is expected to be really bad, and you have the hurricane weather and the uh, conjured up weather in the Midwest that comes to the East Coast. Um, things are really going to be bad. Add to that war. Add to that famine and pestilences that they are conjuring up and unleashing. I don't know if y'all been seeing about the bird flu, the stuff then jumped from animals to humans. So we're probably getting ready to go round two. Uh, Russia has threatened to do things to the European Union and to us because of the stuff that's going on in Russia and Ukraine. So it's a lot of stuff going on all over the world, and we're not even talking about what's going on on the continent of Africa. So there are lots of fronts that we need to pay attention to, lots of them. And if you're not praying and preparing, you are doing yourself a disservice, because I honestly believe before the end of this year, we're going to have some devastating stuff happen. And I don't want my people to be caught off guard and unaware. So if you're here in Babylon, you got to do something. Um, I don't think the Most High has given us this information for us to just sit on it and be praying and don't do nothing. You got to do something. Yeah, everybody in the Bible who got warnings, they did something. They didn't just take the warning and be like, oh, well, I'm going to just wait on the Lord and see what he's going to do. No, you're supposed to do something. You're supposed to take the information and move. You're supposed to act. You're supposed to protect yourself. You got a warning for a reason. So use the warning and take the time to prepare. Use the resources. Sacrifice. Don't go on vacation. Sacrifice. Don't buy stuff you don't need. Sacrifice. Pray and ask the Most High about what it is that you should do, and do those things. Continue to repent for your sins daily of commission and omission, because sin keeps us from having a relationship with the Most High, and unforgiveness and being unrepentant are ways that we kind of lose our connection. So we need to make sure that we are repenting daily. We need to be asking the Most High for guidance on what to do, what to consume, who to be with, where to go. Like there's so many things that we need to be asking for right now, and not just to be blessed. We need to be asking for covering, asking for guidance and wisdom, asking for light, because there's so much darkness in this world. So little glimmers of light are really helpful. And I'm always appreciative when I see those things. So um, keep on prepping, keep praying, keep seeking the Most High, obey those laws, statutes, and commandments. Keep the Sabbath and keep it holy. Learn about the Sabbath. Um, Read your Old Testament, because or the Torah, because there are lots of things that we don't know because we were taught by our enemies, and we need to learn how to be obedient. And although we're not going to get everything right, at least try. The Most High sees our hearts. He knows what we're trying to do, and He understands what has been done to us. So if you're not making an earnest effort to try to come back into obedience and holiness, it's going to be real difficult for you when things get bad, because you're not going to have any guidance. All right, y'all. This is Marla K. Love y'all, and I'm out.